It's been a while since we looked at Coinbase. Coinbase stock at the moment trading at 164.50. So valuation of this company right here, right now at this price is around like $40 billion. So let's take a look at both. What's the bearish situation and what's the bullish situation for the stock? I know I have a bunch of lines for the stock. Year to date, Coinbase is not doing really well, considering let's just take a look at the yearly gains. Well, what's the year-to-date gains for Coinbase at this point? So I think let me just go find the exact number for you guys. Well, today, October 2nd, 5.5% down year-to-date. Of course, it was up significantly higher at $280 levels, and I was even trading this name back there, thinking that this, if it breaks, it could squeeze a lot higher to 350, but it did consolidate in this range for a very long time, from the beginning of the year all the way till July. That's when stock started coming down. And again, I'm looking at the weekly chart here, okay, just so you guys can see zoomed out what's going on with this name. So year to date, this zero line for me is closing price of last year, 174. Unless it gets back above this level, let's switch to yearly chart now, daily chart. So you can see right here where it did sell off very aggressively, actually, like 10 trading sessions or so. And then this drift higher, it was not like, even though it did come up all the way until these 2 days where we had I think, rate cut decision and then Bitcoin popping, it was not convincing move up. It was almost like short covering, like slowly melting up. And then now in 2-3 trading sessions, it gave it all back. And we're sitting at, again, negative year to date price action. So support 160, below 160. I have a bunch of lines here. I would be considering to short this name if it does go below this level and below 145, all the way to $120 levels. I think what's positive about this, I mean, we're going to talk about that in a bit. But right here, right now, I think if it does break these levels, this is the bearish case scenario that I would be watching. I would be shorting it all the way down, and also considering Q4, a lot of if anybody who bought it, let's say above these levels, of course it was traded at 120 levels in the beginning of the year before BTC took off. Unless you bought it at these levels, anybody who bought it up here in the last, let's go from let's say February all the way to here even, okay, let's go all the way to September, beginning of the September. Anybody who bought at these levels, they are down. Anybody who purchased the stock, they are negative from February all the way to September. All of these people. So if it starts breaking below these recent lows where it stopped 145-ish, a lot of people will do tax loss harvesting in Q4, and they will lock the losses, and they can sell it, I think, all the way to 120, maybe even lower. But that's my bearish case scenario for the stock. The bullish case scenario is we have to go to BTC. We know globally central banks releasing the liquidity, right? Cutting, and BTC at the moment you can see in a downtrend, right? But at the same time, it can run up and break out of this 70K in any moment, and it could be a little bit volatile, and basically more business for Coinbase, right? Attract more people to chase Coinbase and even other crypto stuff, right? But unless that happens, I'm not bullish Coinbase at the moment, purely from a valuation standpoint. What's positive going on? Well, last 4 quarters, Q1, Q2, they did very well, actually, earnings per share, Q3. So if they report, again, so Q4 coming up, I don't know when they're going to report. So they're going to report very soon, actually, October 31st. That's what their scheduled earnings. If they report positive earnings, we can flip back to positive, back above 174 and try to push. Unless that happens, if they report negative EPS, that's going to be very, very bearish in my case for Coinbase, and we can even see the stock come down to $100, maybe even $70, because at that point, people would not be okay to pay the premium that are paying right now. If you take a look at the price to earnings, PE ratio that it is trading at, it's not going to be trading at this 40 something. I know it's normal for tech names, but it's not normal for like brokerage companies. What else do they sell except collecting fees on their exchange? It's basically exchange, right? That's it. What else they do, as far as I know. So those are the levels in terms of options. I wanted to jump into the total, everything so far, what I can see, and just briefly go through this. Coinbase's total open interest for the calls, you can see 650,000, puts 350,000. Okay. What's interesting here, and for the past like 2-3 months, I was following Coinbase, where a lot of people just sell outside of the money calls, crazy outside of the money calls, and stock chops or just doesn't move, and they collect the premium. And that's what has been happening. You can see in the money, at least going into November 15th, there's not much of in the money call open interest versus in the money put open interest. So my views, again, ultra short term, as fundamentals change, I change my views, of course. But right here, right now, going for the next 3 months or so, I think earnings going to be very pivotal, of course. But until then, if we're going to have October until election, if we're going to have crypto cracking below that 60K that where it's sitting right now, I don't see any reason why the stocks should stay up at these levels. Momentum can take it down below that 145 and take it to 120. I know it's a big drop, but ultra short term, or however you want to look at it, maybe 1 week, 1.5% down, 1 month 2.7%, per quarter it's down 26%, 27%, half a year performance 34% down, year to date it's down 5.5%. So momentum is clear that it's to the downside. You can see it like this, or we can even watch it at on a monthly chart, what's going on with the monthly chart. If we look at the monthly chart, it's very clear. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 months, it hasn't closed positive yet. October just started, we don't know yet, but for October, stock is down so far, and that's what I'm watching for Coinbase. Hope you guys like it. Not a financial advice, purely for entertainment and informational purposes only. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.